Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I am going to be doing my final version of how much money you're going to end up needing for the Grand Theft Auto Online Gun Running DLC. Now, before we jump into this, I have a pretty big announcement to make. I'm going to be doing the biggest shark card giveaway that I've ever done. For one lucky person, I'm going to be giving away $8 million. That's right, a Megalodon shark card I'm going to be giving away. Now, I'm going to be choosing the winner on Friday. So this will be a couple days after the gun running update comes out. Now, I'm doing this for a couple reasons. Number one, on Tuesday when the update comes out, I will be at E3, so I'll be away for a little bit. But also, number two, this will give you a pretty good amount of time to check out all the content and figure out what you like and what you don't like. Thus, you won't spend the money if you are the winner on something you don't enjoy. So that'll be going on. Links to that is in the description. It's going on my Twitter. All you have to do is retweet and follow me, so check that out. Now, I'm making this video in stages. I said I was going to be doing this. Each time we've received new information, I've gathered more ideas on how much money it's going to cost, in my opinion, for this update. And the same thing can be said about the trailer that came out just last week. So today, with everything we know so far, trailer, leaks, stuff that have come from reputable members of the community, I'm going to be telling you guys how much money I believe you're ultimately going to need for gun running. So probably the biggest thing that the trailer did for me is confirm really what I already thought, and that this is going to be an expensive update, but it's an expensive update with a lot of customization. Let's start with probably the biggest thing that is going to be purchasing in this update, and that's going to be the bunker. So I think the bunkers at a base price are going to be pretty inexpensive. I say inexpensive, but likely around $1 to $3 million. But we saw within the trailer a couple things. Number one, that you're going to be able to customize the interior. We saw on many different occasions where there was different lighting, different walls, different layouts, different structures. All of that is going to be customization that you can choose. There was a different gun range inside the one in the trailer versus the one in the screenshot. So I imagine there's going to be like a luxury option or maybe like a more grungy military look. So we know that that is going to be something that you're ultimately going to have to upgrade. And then Rockstar during the trailer showed off at least 3 or 4 different segments of our white coat lab staff doing research. I think that is going to be a massive ongoing cost of the bunker. Or it might be something that you have to buy when you get started, like a research package. So I think that is going to be applied in there as well. And there seem to be multiple different stations, like a drill press, a 3D printer, maybe like a bullet making machine or something like that. That is pretty insane. And we know that that research is going to be done to do a multitude of different things, get you better upgrades for your weaponized vehicles, the Mark II versions of the weapons, which have been confirmed. We know that there's going to be 6 Mark II weapons. We know that there's going to be 17 total vehicles, which is really crazy. And we know that we've obviously got the MOC as well. Now, one rumor that is going around is that the MOC will actually be included with the bunker. Now, if that is the case, that might add to the cost of the bunker, so you could easily add $2 or $3 million onto that. If not, I believe that's going to be the cost of the MOC. It's going to be $2 or $3 million. And just like the bunker, within the trailer, we saw a lot of things that you're going to be able to do to it. Areas to customize your cars, to change your clothing, luxury living quarters, a command center. You're going to be able to, modify your weapons in there, so a weapon workbench. So I think that if you wanted to jump into gun running, pretty bare bones, you could, buying the most minimal amount of stuff required. Although that might make your time a little bit less enjoyable, and the missions certainly a little bit more difficult. And I think there's going to be an absolute ton of upgrades that you can do for both of them. So that's where I think this update is going to cost the most. That is going to be upgrading the items in the game, whether it's vehicles, weapons, the MOC, the bunker itself. I think the purchasing of the items isn't going to be all that expensive, but I think that the upgrading them and updating them is most definitely going to be. And I'm sorry, I should have clarified this earlier, but when I said 17 vehicles, 6 new weapons, that is now confirmed from Mach 1 Bud that we're going to be getting 6 Mark II versions of the weapons, 17 total vehicles. However, that does include drip feed content. And then that's going to leave us with 8 new missions for the brand new vehicles, with the release date obviously happening on the 13th. So getting back to the vehicles really quickly, I know that that amount might be a lot, and the amount that I'm going to tell you guys at the end that I think you're going to need it's probably not going to be necessary at day one. Because if I had to take a guess, I'm imagining there's going to be 40 to 50% of the vehicles that are going to be released spread out within the next month or two, sometime in July, possibly even sometime in August. So you'll have time to recoup your money. Now, speaking of recouping your money, I've said that Gunrunning has the potential to be the most lucrative update ever. They've hinted at it on the newswire. Agent 14 has hinted at it. So even though the things in this update may cost a lot of money, they may be very expensive, the amount of money I tell you need might be really high, you might do 1 or 2 gun running missions and find that it pays out incredibly well, which really would negate the high prices. Yes, it would cost a lot of money, but if you did the missions the way they were supposed to, you would also make a lot of money. So that's kind of my thinking there too. And just like with the import-export special vehicle missions, you're going to be able to make money from these vehicle missions too, the weaponized vehicle ones. I'm sure they'll be done through a computer inside of your bunker, just like the special vehicle ones are done via a computer inside of your office. And then that really just leaves us with the miscellaneous things. I say miscellaneous things, but there's still a big part of this update. That would be clothing, that would be other features, that would be other accessories that we're going to be able to do. The customization of our vehicles, I guess I could have thrown that in with the upgrading of them, but putting on different liveries, doing sorts of different upgrades, all of that is going to end up adding up here and is going to cost you a lot of money at the end of the day. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 2 sorts of scenarios. We're going to give you the starter pack and then the billionaires club. The starters pack is going to be the amount of money that I think you're going to need to get things going. So obviously that's going to be a bunker, it'll be an MOC, it'll be a couple vehicles, a couple of the new Mark II weapons, and then some new clothing. I think that amount is going to be anywhere from $10 to $20 million when it's all said and done. That's picking and choosing your vehicles, being selective with what you buy, not necessarily doing all the upgrades, and that's still a lot of money. I think when you get closer to the billionaire side, it's going to be $60 to $70 million. As I've mentioned in other videos, 17 new vehicles. If each one of those vehicles costs $2 million on average, which is nothing out of the ordinary, especially when we're dealing with military vehicles, that's $36 million right there alone. And if each vehicle is an average of $3 million, that means your total on just vehicles is $51 million. And that includes nothing else. Doesn't include the bunker, doesn't include the upgrades, doesn't include the MOC and all the customization you're going to have to do for that, doesn't include any of the clothing or other things you could possibly be doing. So can you see why I'm a little bit skeptical on how expensive this could be? It could be absolutely massive. So I think that there's definitely going to be some sweet spot in there. I don't think that $10 million will get you everything you need. $70 million might be a little bit overkill, but as I mentioned in other videos, I want to recommend that you guys have more money than less, because I don't want you to go into the update and say, man, this stinks, all of this is really cool, but I don't have enough money. I'd rather you grind a lot and say, man, I've got a lot of extra money. That was a lot of work, but at least I've got extra money. And to really summarize everything, what the trailer and all the leaks has done for me is, like I said, just shown me how massively customizable this update is going to be, which is going to be great for a lot of reasons, but it's also going to make it the most expensive update of all time. So just be ready, because Gunrunning is coming soon and it's going to cost a lot. Let me know in the comment section down below how much money you think it's going to be. How much money do you have as well right now? Do you think you're prepared? Do you think you're ready? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys did go and enjoy this video though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.